Hello, and welcome back. This video is about replacing the boring buttons with state-based textures. And a special thanks to all my supporters. Thank you for helping me help others. So the first thing we did was create some images for each of the turrets. We have a normal, hovered, and pressed version for each of the 4 turrets, and we'll use that in our widget blueprint. So in our WBP Tower Actions, we're going to first go to Graph, create a new function called Init Button. I want to create 3 new variables. First will be button normal textures. This is going to be a type of eTower action, and it will be mapped to a texture 2D. We then hit compile so that we can see the default value down here. I'm going to add 7 entries. That's because when you add it as an enum, it just adds each of the enum values. We don't need none, so I'm just going to delete that one. And then I'm going to duplicate this button normal textures to button hovered textures. And lastly, button pressed textures. So in each of these, we need to just set all the textures. So I've named the PNG files just turret type and with the state. So turret normal. And when you type in here, you can just use the down arrow, hit enter, and that's a little quicker. So this will be turret or ballista normal. And as usual, I also like, when I have 2 names, I like to just type the end of one name and then the beginning of the next. It's a little quicker than typing the whole thing out. And we don't have ones for upgrade and breakdown yet. Oh, apparently I needed to compile to get the other ones working. A little odd. All right. Turret, this is hovered. And lastly, the pressed textures. Okay, with all those done, we can then drag in our normal textures here. We want to call find. And we're going to be using the action that we send in on Init Button. So in Init Button, we have 2 inputs. The first is going to be the button itself. The second will be the action. The first is a button type. And the second is a tower action enum, which I typed wrong. And we want to ensure that the value is found. So I'm just going to copy and paste this twice. I'll delete the normal ones here, drag in the hovered and the pressed. Hook them all up. So each of these will return the image that is relevant for that action. And we use that with the button. So get button to get the one that's sent in. And we're going to be calling set style. For the in style, we want to drag that out, make button style. And then for each of normal, hovered, and pressed, we can drag out and make slate brush. Once you do that, you have this window. We can pop that open. Image is right at the bottom. So this is normal, so we'll drag from normal over here. And then we can close that up. We'll do the same for hovered and pressed. All right, that looks good. So we can then go back into our Init Actions function. In here, I'm going to hold Alt and click on these. I'm going to replace this with a sequence. Add a few more pins. And then each of these sequence steps is just going to call Init Button. We're sending along the relevant button. This one is top, with the action sent in here. And copy and paste this a few times. We have left, right, bottom. So left, right, and bottom. Oops. And the relevant actions with the relevant exec pins. Good enough. Almost. All right, now when we run this and we pop open this, we see there are 4 new buttons. They have hover states and they have press states. That's a turret, ballista, catapult, and cannon. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video and would like to see more, you know what to do. And if you would like to support this channel, watch these videos 2 weeks early, or just want to download the project files, you can do so through my Patreon linked below.